What's going on, guys? Brandon Taylor here. I was gonna do a different video, but right in the middle of doing that particular video, the camera broke. So what happened was that one of the legs on the tripod actually collapsed on itself and broke, and caused the camera to fall on it flat on its face, on the back of its head. And now the lens won't actually go in and out, and now every time I try to turn off and turn it back on, it keeps telling me to turn it off and then turn it back on. So for at least the next couple of weeks, the videos that I do post is going to be on my phone, so it's going to be this weird aspect ratio, which I hate, but with the current circumstance, I kind of have to do that. So, and right now I don't have the funds to get a new camera right now, so because I had just put money down on a new expansion for Easy Drummer 2. So, and speaking of Easy Drummer 2, I kind of want to talk about when it comes to recording in the studio using everything, all digital equipment versus using analog equipment, like actually doing live drums, recording with real amps and real bass guitar. Well, not bass guitar, but just bass amps and all that. Because for the past two, so when it comes to the past two, what am I saying? The past two project, for the Delphic Argonaut stuff, which I'm gonna try to get people saying DA because it's just easier to say when you're chanting it in live. It's just DA, DA. So try to get that going. But anyway, that's something different. But New Dawn's Rising in these two LPs that I've been working on, they're all recorded with digital equipment. The amp that have been using is the Fractal Axe-Fx, which, as everyone knows by this point, like with Kemper, the Line 6 Helix, it's all pre-recorded stuff with the impulse responses for their amp heads and stuff. Well, not amp heads, but the cabs. And they're not like live amps. So I've used the Fractal Axe-Fx for pretty much all the projects up till now. And I do like the conveniency of having all these different sounds with it, but at the same time, I've gotten to the point where I want to have like the legit thing in front of me, because I've been wanting to get my hands on a Diesel Herbert for God knows how long now. But I don't have the space in my apartment currently, and I don't have $4,500 to put down to get one. But like for the next record, I really want to have everything live, live drums. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Easy Drummer 2, everything that Toontrack has done, because when I'm out on the road, like say if I'm on vacation, like just recently, some of the songs I've been, some of the riffs I came up with when I was up there in North Carolina was actually all through, I had my interface, had my laptop, had a session with Easy Mix and Easy Drummer 2 right there where I could just record everything, for a scratch track and stuff like that as soon as I had an idea that popped up in my head. But when it comes to actually recording in the studio on this next record, I want to have everything live. I want to have an actual drummer in the studio laying down the beats and stuff like that. And then I also want to have, the mic placement and the mic chain and stuff, like, having the right preamp, because that's one of the things when you record live with real amps and all that, is that you have options with the digital stuff, like plenty of options. I mean, don't get me wrong, the amount of amps and cabs that I have to mess with on the Fractal is just, it's just so much that it can also be overwhelming. But at the same time, I notice I only use like one or two amp cabs, at least from the impulse responses that they have. Because when I try to mess with different amp heads, it doesn't matter. It's usually always those two cabs. And even with me trying to mess with because you can mess with the mic placement in the Fractal, but it's all through knobs. You can't like physically do it yourself. And so being able to have like the live stuff, being able to actually do it yourself all right there, I think it's actually in some ways more convenient. so you can actually get very unique sounds compared to just using all digital equipment. So, though I will say, when it comes to playing live, I could go either or, and honestly, I kind of gravitate more towards just doing digital equipment. Like either you're using the Kemper or the XFX for live, just because of how consistent everything is. Because I will say, I near the end of me having my 5150, I could tell like the tubes were starting to go out. So, and it could be a pain in the ass to try to find the right tube, and also be very expensive. So, because you don't want to have shitty tubes in there, and then your sound goes to shit when you're trying to play live. And it's gonna storm. Holy shit! I mean, look at that. Look at that ugliness. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What do you prefer? Like if you're a musician, do you prefer to record all digital, or you like you kind of like me? You kind of go in both, where you would like to play analog equipment when you're recording or whatever. And for people who just listen to music, I kind of want to hear what you guys think. I mean, if you actually sat down and listened to like some of the older stuff where everything had to be analog, and you compare it to a lot of the stuff that's made today, where like especially like in heavy metal and some of like a lot of the hard rock stuff, where everything is recorded digitally, what do you guys think? What sounded better back then, or what everything sounds like now? Because I think it's an interesting topic to have and be able to have that discussion about it. But yeah, at the end of the day, the next record is definitely going to be everything is live. Everything live drummer, real amps, real bass amp, and it's good. It costs money to do it this way, and it be having to go down to a studio or a place that has a decent sound in the room to get the right drum sound and the right amp sound and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, it will be worth it. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about between live and digital amps and stuff like that. So, this is Brandon Taylor. Catch you in the next video. See ya.